Welcome to the dungeon. This is the Dream Warrior Review, episode 31. I'm Kurt Thomas.
I'm Mick Strawn.
The Shape of Water.
The Shape of Water. Go ahead. Hit it.
At a top secret research facility in the 1960s, a lonely janitor forms a unique relationship with an amphibian creature that is being held in captivity against his will.
Against his will. Creature from the Black Lagoon meets the Green Room.
That's the first thing I wrote down was Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Right.
Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, Edward Scissorhands.
Yeah.
But no, since I lived in Tallahassee for a while.
Right.
One of my favorite places to go kayaking was Wakulla Springs.
Okay.
Do you know why Wakulla Springs is important?
No, I have no idea.
They filmed, not only did Johnny Weissmuller filmed Tarzan back in the day.
Okay.
But they also filmed all the Creature of the Black Lagoon movies for the clear shots underwater.
Oh, really? Okay.
So it was a really fun place to go kayaking because I could actually go get some film stuff going on.
Yeah.
And then I can go kayaking.
And you can see through the water.
And the water's so clear there that you can see the bottom, and there's manatees, and it's awesome. It's a beautiful place.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, we are here.
Showtime with her.
So, wait, dude. So
back to Shape of Water.
Back to the Shape of Water. Okay.
I'm like kayaking.
Yeah, you are. You're ADDing is what you're doing.
Well, I just thought of Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Right. Yeah. What did I think? You know what? Complicated film. It was a complicated film. I love the concept of the love story.
Well, it's funny you say complicated because my first thing was I thought it was a very simple plot.
Really?
But it was a complicated film.
It's a complicated film, but you're right. It is a simple plot. It's simply a love story.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's a love story, and I think I got into it more because I'm able to suspend disbelief and say, "Oh, this could really happen," and I got sucked into the story really quick.
I really liked it. I loved the look of.
Oh, it was beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was absolutely beautiful.
The sets. In fact, one of the things I really liked was all the sets they did, especially the one where he was in the water
in the tank, right?
And they had like the set behind him was just
right.
Everything was good
so
about
cool.
that.
And it was and it also reminded me a lot of Hellboy. The overall feeling.
Yeah.
And the creature in it reminded me of the underwater creature in Hellboy.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
it was definitely it was a fantasy story for sure. I just love the visuals overall, and the silent performance by Sally Hawkins.
Yeah, it was.
That's her name, right?
Yeah,
Sally Hawkins. Yeah, she was amazing. She didn't have to say one word.
Yeah, it was. It was.
And I like the side story with her and her buddy that they had this weird relationship, and they only had each other. So I kind of felt bad for that guy at a certain point.
So did I. Yeah,
I don't want to ruin anything, but I felt really bad for him at one point.
Yeah, it's.
There's one line where he says. What are we anyway? Like you could tell he loved her.
That was one thing is that you could definitely tell that he loved her, but he had never. And he
was a good actor.
And he thought he was gay. So he loved her at the same time he was gay, right?
Yes. Well, that's another thing that's interesting. It was supposed to be in the 1960s. Richard Jenkins.
Richard. He was brilliant.
Yeah, I thought he was too.
Brilliant. Yeah.
And it wasn't a very big character, but I thought he played it really well. And
now who was the bad guy lead?
Michael Shannon.
Michael Shannon?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't for a moment buy any of his crap. I didn't believe him. I thought that he was the weakest point of the whole show.
Right.
He just he was too one-dimensional. See, the thing is I thought to myself...
But it wasn't about him. It was about the love story.
No, you're absolutely right. It was about the love story and stuff, but I think he could have been a better foil for it. It was a love story, but it was a very soft love story.
He could have been scarier.
I thought it could have been harder, if he had been, if he had seemed competent.
Yes.
He didn't seem to have any competence whatsoever. whatsoever. You know,
I thought it was kind of soft, especially if you compare it to like Pan's Labyrinth or
right. You know, it was a
or Mama, which is I think
Which
as a side note, I
don't
was thinking
eat
about
the baby. Don't eat the baby. Stop eating that baby.
But as a side note, I keep
baby.
thinking about. I was just thinking. I keep hearing people say how he's done all these amazing. He directed all these amazing films.
Yeah.
But I looked at his list of movies that he worked on. And I'm like, okay, he's done 20 movies, but none of them really stand out to me except for Pan's Labyrinth. That's the only one. Hellboy, I don't know. I wasn't that excited about it.
Hellboy? You didn't like Hellboy?
But he produced
What
Mama.
the Hellboy is wrong with you?
I did notice that he has a Pinocchio coming up, though.
Yeah,
it's on his IMDb. So I'm curious about that one. If that's anything like this one or Pan's Labyrinth or Hellboy, I'll see it.
Okay, yeah, you know, Pinocchio has the right to be done right.
Right.
It has the right to be done right, yeah.
Do you think they'll have a hanging scene in that one?
God, I hope so.
And I saw the trailers for this, and I said, I have to see that because it's what I like.
Right, yeah.
It's the fantasy.
Oh, I just.
What'd you think of the suit? Did you think it was like... At first, I thought it was a little cheesy, but then
the
way they made him blink and the way they made his colors and his skin and the...
No, I thought it was. I thought it was
the suit
amazing.
was awesome, actually.
I also loved her description of the.
Right.
You know,
yeah.
the thing with the thing.
Yeah, the thing with the thing.
And then the thing comes, and then the thing, and then it's like, yeah, that was. It was very entertaining.
And there was a scene where there was a lot of water involved,
right,
flooding a room. That was pretty cool.
That was sweet. Yeah, that scene was really sweet. Yeah. Yeah, you know, the thing is, I loved it as a love story. I love the look of it, but I just didn't like it as much as Hellboy. I didn't like it as much as
I have to
Pan's
watch Hellboy
Labyrinth.
again because I've seen that.
What is wrong with you?
I need to watch it again. Okay.
You know what? You need to be a better person.
I'll put that on my list.
You need to be a better person.
Here, I'm putting it on my list right now.
Yes, do that.
Hellboy. Okay, got it.
Gotcha.
I'll fit that somewhere between changing diapers, going to work, and watching movies, other movies.
Okay, so what did you think of it overall? Well, I mean, what? How many are you gonna give it?
What is that?
That's the thing and the thing with the thing and the thing.
Oh, how many? Yes, I would give it. Oh gosh, I think I'd be pretty generous. I don't think I'd give it a 5 though. As a love story, I'd give it a 5. As a fantasy story, probably 4.5. So I would say 4.25 overall. Because I really enjoyed it.
I thought the middle was a little slow. I thought that it had its slow points. Like, for instance, when they got him and they escaped, from there on, it seemed, like it got pedantic.
Huh. Well, I felt like I was watching the whole movie. I never got lost in it. I mean, I never got lost. I never got distracted from it. So, I mean, I just enjoyed the whole thing. So, I think that's why I rate it 4.25.
Well, there you go.
So, what yours is what, 2?
No, it's not that.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 3.5. I just, you know what? I liked it a lot. I thought it was gonna knock my socks off, and it didn't.
I didn't go in with any expectations other than I just want to see what's going on.
It was,
I didn't really have anything.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's
so I guess I had a different point of view.
To me, and it could possibly be because it was a Guillermo del Toro, and he is such a visualist. I mean, he has such a unique view. I thought I would have liked it better.
Well, I went into this kind of like I would go into, say, George Lucas decided to do another Star Wars. I would kind of not have any expectations.
Gotcha.
I did enjoy some of his work.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't have any expectations on what's going to come out.
So
that's kind of how I approach this one.
So you're a better person than I am.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just. Maybe I'm too lazy to really care. Maybe that's it. Maybe I'm complacent.
Anyway,
overall, I think this is a great movie. I think people should see it. And I'm pissed off that we live in a place where this came out. How many weeks after the?
Yeah, now that did bother me. It came out, and I think it was in other theaters for a month and a half at least.
Yeah, at least. Yeah,
before it came out here, and it. That
you shouldn't have to wait 6 to 8 weeks for a movie like that.
No, absolutely. I mean, that was a crime. It really was. And the thing is considering that there was just so much just pure crap after Christmas up here.
Yeah.
Just, ugh. I had an experience with water is such a pain in the butt.
Story time.
It's story time with Mick.
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 Water is such a pain in the butt, on a set. Oh, water is just horrible. I mean, trying to make a set that holds water, it's just, because you're making something temporary.
Is it worse than fire, or is it about the same? Like, as far as what's harder to work with, it's water or fire?
Water.
Okay.
Water, because fire. The thing is water will find every little teeny tiny hole anywhere, and it'll crawl in that hole, and it's if you're doing a rain gag, it's gonna find its way down the back of your neck. It's if you try and do a tank on stage, sure enough, you're gonna get it filled up, and you'll be constantly, soaking water off the bottom of the stage. For some reason, water just drives you bananas, just bananas. I was when we did M.A.N.T.I.S. M.A.N.T.I.S was supposed to be underground or underwater, right?
Right.
And by the way, the miniature work that they did on M.A.N.T.I.S was, honest to God, the worst I've ever seen. They borrowed a model off of another show, so that when the car comes under the water, it looks like this squarish, like a 65 Ford or something like that. When it comes out, and the layer that it was supposed to come out of, was kind of square, and everything that I designed had been, these like sweeping movements and stuff like that. But we had these windows all the way around inside of the M.A.N.T.I.S's lair, and it was supposed to be underwater, and so we had air devices. What we had done is we had built these plexiglass kind of like fish tanks. They were huge. I mean, but they were huge. They were ellipses, and inside of them we put bubblers, so that you could, have so that whole feeling that you're underneath the water with the bubbles coming up and stuff like very typical effect, right? And for some reason, whatever we mechanically attached the bubblers to the bottom of the tanks with did not work, and so the bubblers kept rising up through this, kept rising up in the background, and then that would stop bubbling, and you would just see the hose. The end of the hose would be buzzing around up on top, and it was like really blowing the effect. And I'm kind of like up on the outside of the set as we're filming. I'm trying to plug these things back in desperately. I'm trying to sink, and I'm taking these rods and I'm trying to sink the hoses back down into there, and the hoses keep coming up, and I'm going from one to the other. It's like it's like I think that we had 8 of them, and like it would seem to be like by the time I got back to the last one, the first one had to come up and start bubbling, stop bubbling again, and I'm just going around and around, and I'm getting more angry, and finally we're in the middle of a shot where the bubbler is supposed to be right behind a close-up of Carl Lumley, right? And I'm back there, and I am on a platform. I'm 8 feet in the air on the back of the set. With just the walkway that we have, just the length of a walkway, and I'm trying to jam this bubbler back down, and for some reason it got personal. It was like me and this goddamn bubbler, and like just life became about this bubbler, and I'm plunging, and I'm in the middle of the shot. And now the crew's trying to get me out of the way. It doesn't have anything to do with the bubbler anymore because it's me and the bubbler and the crew trying to get rid of me. And they're trying, and I'm like, no, man, I got it in a minute. Going down like this. And finally, I jammed the bubbler down like this, and I say, "Yay, I got it!" And I slipped in a puddle of water on the sealant and did a flip off the back of the set. An 8-foot high flip came back down and landed on my butt. And when I landed on my butt, and they saw that I was still alive and stuff, the crew applauded. And then the bubbler rose up
Right.
and went out of frame. And I swear to this day, I've never been that insane. I've never completely, really just lost it. Lost all sense of perspective, you know? Like when I fell, this is how bad it was. When I fell, I had 2 ADs that were all absolutely climbing the sides of the set trying to get to me.
Oh, wow. So do you have any fish tanks?
No.
No, you're not a fan of
Not a fish guy anymore. No, not at all.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a good time, Habel. Yeah.
I haven't watched that yet. I need to watch that again. That's a.
I'm in the middle.
You
of
were
watching,
on that retro movie geek show, and you had a big fan of M.A.N.T.I.S.
Right. They're doing
And the way
it,
he talked about it.
they're doing on Sunday. I'm going to
this.
be talking to them
Yeah.
on Sunday.
That's awesome.
And I'm watching it right now.
Yeah.
Just to prep for that because he wants everything.
Yeah.
He wants every moment possible on that show, and that show had some really weird moments. I'm telling you, weird moments.
But he was very into this, so you have to be prepared for any question.
I had.
But I thought those guys did a good job at interviewing you.
I thought they did. I thought they did too. The guy with the AM radio voice is funny.
Yeah. He was good.
Yeah,
and he mentioned Tallahassee. I don't know if he lives in Tallahassee, but I was like, okay.
Yeah, because you're down with that, right?
That works, yeah. That's cool. He probably knows about Wakulla Springs. As always, you can reach out to us on email at dreamwarriorreview@gmail.com, or you can find us on Facebook and Twitter at DWReview. For now, thank you for joining us on the Dream Warrior Review. So there's one thing I noticed about Shape of Water, and I think you'd appreciate this with your special effects background and production designer, things that make sense.
Yeah.
So they knocked the power out by blowing up this box, right? The electrical box.
Right.
But the power's back on 5 minutes later. Is that even possible? You see what I'm saying? It seems very unlikely that you'd be able to bring the power back up.
Well, you know how you do it, right?
You go ask your neighbors.
No, you know how you do it. You write down on the page. The water suddenly came back on.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the power came back on. Yeah.
But that's how you do it. Just in case.
Well, it was this.
I think maybe you should try it in real life and see if that would work.
It was this big plan where they mapped everything out. And
yeah,
it's like,
I know. Well,
so we're gonna blow this thing up, and then the power's gonna come back on 5 minutes later. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
That was kind of an after the credits type of thing.
Power suddenly came back on.
In scene. I don't know.
In scene, right? Yeah.